How's it, everybody? Welcome back to the Positive Hour with Trav and Brother Nate.
What's up?
Today's topic we have, Nate actually just had a great topic, is what are we feeding our youth, mentally and physically? I'll let Nate start off because he had a great part when we was talking story. Nate?
I was thinking, what are we letting our kids watch on the tablets and stuff and the movies and stuff? There's one day, I was reading on something how sound can manipulate. Mm-hmm. Sound can heal and sound can put us in a trance state. That's why a lot of monks would do. That's actually a rhythmic pattern that causes them to heal and to pretty much just exclamate everything out of their mind. But it's a sound wave, it's a vibration that causes them to get into this state. And if you watch what your kids watch on the tablets, allow them to have those droning sounds, and you realize that some of the things they watch, they can either take away their focus, or they do things that are not smart, or they can do things that kind of like dumbifies them. Like for instance, like this one thing that my son was watching one time. It was like, and my son was walking around, and he was banging into things. He was tripping on things, stuff he never does. He was trying to pick up stuff, and it was almost like it made him dumb. So I told him, take a break from that. So I looked at it, and I changed it, and I had my son take a 5-minute break, and his thoughts came back in an instant. And it's like, okay, he not. I felt like that thing was controlling my son to do things and making him not as smart as he usually is. So after he started drawing and he started to cut and make his characters like he always does, and very smart questions, answered me right away, and was very coherent to what I was telling him. So in this podcast, I want to say what. We have to detox our kids from stupid media.
Or games.
Or things that cause them to not think. Not saying don't take it away from them, because they like laugh and have fun too. But try to control how much they intake. Because you want, and try to observe how their behaviors is when they watch it too long. What you think, Trav?
No, definite. I was doing this brain training thing, and I seen that they can reprogram your mind through. But people don't realize it's all subliminal. Like they how they used to show it on the records and they play it backwards. I mean, I think that's kind of BS-ish. I don't believe that they did that, but they could put subliminal messages back in recordings. It would be very subtle, But they did find psychologically you can reprogram a person's brain through visual and audio. That is definitely 100% true. And I really believe that a lot of things out there is out there to because how's the way everything with technology is going, it's going digital and audio, and it's there. You could just try put your kids on top of a tablet, or if they probably are on tablets, or even look at the newest generations. A lot of them is not, I wouldn't say as bright, but they have it's totally different, their mentalities. It's in a whole left field. Like our parents thought we were coming in left field, and then our grandparents thought we were in another field, you know what I mean? Because they were all better than us. But look at it. It's programming kids to become just puppets. There is no real morals behind real stories in cartoons. Correct me if I'm wrong. When we were little,
80s did have those.
Yes, no, I was gonna go back. When we were little,
G.I. Joe would always tell you what to do.
Yep. G.I. Joe.
The trash.
Exactly. There was everything back in the cartoons when we were growing up. There was a message. Even when we watched like the sitcoms, if you watch Saved by the Bell or any of those, like as much as there was a bad situation, there was always a good solution.
Mr. Feeney and Boys Meet World always had the problem solver. Yeah.
Yep. So you always have that kind of situations. And that's how it was back in the day. And if you went back further, they also had that. You don't always do things one certain way, or you shouldn't do this and blah, blah, blah. Like, hell, I could go off the tangent.
Did you know in the 60s they actually had shows that showed you how to do drywall and carpentry?
No, but they should do that.
They had that in the 60s.
You know,
That's cool.
but
Like, a program of how to do drywall. That's
Yeah.
nuts. Sorry, go ahead, Jack.
no. But going back to what Nate said, you know, we're feeding our kids these things, and yes, it's easy. But to raise a kid that's going to be good is not easy.
Mm-hmm.
To just put them on a tablet and let them go, you're just creating another mindless person. That's what you're doing. I guarantee it. They're not gonna be. Not all of them. I'm gonna say 99% though will not be driven. They're not gonna have initiative. They're just gonna be like, nah. I'm making good money.
I think that would be a fair statement. If not,
You know what I
everyone
mean?
would be successful.
I'm making good money. I'm living just enough so I can pay for my stuff. I can pay for watch my things. And they come antisocial. They don't even want to meet. I mean, hell, like they don't even talk in person really anymore.
Yeah.
They're just
Text.
messaging and DMing. There's no verbal communication. Pretty soon we're gonna be mutes. Nobody's talking. You ever watch like I watch people like the other day I was driving to go to a meeting and I seen these two girls at a bus stop doing a dance with nothing. There's no music, bro. But I know it's being filmed for like TikTok or whatever, Instagram or whatever they're doing, and it's hilarious. Or you watch them they're at the beach. This one shoots me in the foot. They're at the beach and then they're by themselves and they're just like, and they're like making like they're having so much fun. Let's be realistic here,
And
people.
then they stop. They're all depressed.
Yeah, exactly. Let's be realistic here. If you're doing it by yourself, which most of the really, really big people on top of Instagram, YouTube, whatever is doing, it's a pretty lonely life, bro. Let's just be real here. When I was little, when I was even getting up to my teens, I was like, I want to be famous. I love all this money, or I want to do this. Now I look back at it, I would rather just keep my life that I have and just live modestly and just have my friends and families that I have. Why? Because if you was to live in the limelight, I found out that if you peak too early, there's nothing else for you to go to.
Mm-hmm.
People in life, and I don't know if people look at it this way, but most 90% of the people is always chasing something that gives them purpose in life. But when you get everything you want, look at the ultra wealthy that get everything they want. How are they? It's pretty bad unless they have a purpose or they have some kind of drive or something. It's pretty bad. They're doing some crazy stuff, or you watch the shows and they just sound very ignorant. You ever see the ones like they kind of have it on TV? I'm like whatever blinging stuff or whatever. I forget what it's called, but yeah. If you see that, just look at it, see how it is. What do you think, Nate?
No, it's funny because it's a lot of things happen when you don't allow your kids the time to process things. Sorry, I coming back. I lost in thought a little bit. I think it's very important to train your kids what you want them to do. If you're a good person and instill the values, because when they come 18, they're not going to listen to you anymore. But you want to give them as much things to do. You want to set them on the right path so that when they do get into hard times, they can remember what you taught them. Okay? Like some people say, I don't like restrict my kids. Restrict them. They need restrictions because when they go out in the world, there is restrictions. You don't pay your rent, you're out. You don't pay the water, you don't pay the speed limit, you get ticket. You drink and drive, you go jail. That's a restriction. Now, if you teach your kids not to have restrictions, they're gonna be lost out there. They gotta understand that there is gonna have a lot of no's out there. You don't come to work on time, you fired. You don't do your job right, you fired. Stuff like that. There's a lot of restrictions out there. So, what you feeding your kids? Are you feeding your kid that everything you can do anything you like? You can talk to people the way you like. They can not do what they want to do. You gonna teach them that? They're gonna be very lazy people, possibly on welfare, draining people like us and you out there who work, using our tax dollars to pay for their laziness. I'm gonna be straight out. This is my opinion, and this is what I feel. we gotta stop this formality, or we gotta stop this, to me, this pandemic of laziness
That's true.
in our children. Having them to work and help out is very important, because when they go on the workforce, we don't like guys who stand around and watch us work. That's how people get hurt. That's how people get angry. That's how people become bitter and become double crossing on that person to set them up to fail. You're setting up your kids to fail, in my belief, if you let them have everything they like and you don't show them a restriction, or you don't make them earn it. I earned everything I had to this day. When I was 18 years old, I had 2 full-time jobs. My mom got married. She moved to Maui. I was alone. And I had to pay everything, and nothing came free. And then when I would ask for help, people would tell me flat out, you are burdening me. Every time I gotta give you help, you burdening, you making it harder for me. My grandpa taught me the best lesson one time. I was in a rut, and I borrowed money from my grandpa. And my grandpa said, every time you borrow money, boy, you're hurting that person because you never think. And it stuck with me to this day. Granted, my grandpa was a very kind man. He helped me. And I paid my grandpa back full. But that stuck with me. You know, if you ask for help, what did you do to put yourself in that situation? Or especially with your kids. When you're old and you're retired, you cannot give them everything.
Yep.
You're going to barely make enough living off your retirement. So we have to teach our children to be self-reliant. Okay? Not saying they can ask. Of course they can ask, but not all the time. Because life, you can ask your boss for money up front all the time. He might give you in advance sometime, but he cannot do it all the time.
They're probably not gonna give you at all if you're in big companies anyway.
Yeah, if you always borrowing and you don't, your boss will be like, wow, what are you doing with your money that I gotta keep advancing you stuff? And then you're gonna have to explain to him what you're doing. He'll be like, I don't help you. Then you become a lost cause. You become homeless. Or you go back onto welfare, which causes us taxpayers to pay more money to watch people live for free. And that's not fair either. You wanna deminimize ill will towards humans, correct, Trev?
No, I agree.
You wanna deminimize looking down at people. So it starts at the home. For me, train your kids to be hard workers, to be polite, to, like Travis was saying when they're talking, to answer when an adult tells you hi. Mm-hmm. Make your kids tell people hi, for crying out loud.
And say thank you.
And
yes,
say thank
please.
you, yes.
No, thank you.
Not yeah or what. Make them respond.
You teach them.
That's my biggest pet peeve when my kids don't say nothing. To me, it's like, how dare you no say nothing when an adult showed the respect to look at you, a lowly person who does not contribute to society, who does not pay taxes, who doesn't help out, who eats all your food, and do any kind of things that causes you problems. Do not answer an adult who pays stuff for you, buys you presents, feeds you, pay taxes so that you can have social security or welfare. At least have the decency to tell an adult hello when they tell you hello. At least teach your kids to have a decency to respect their elders, because they done it before you. If it wasn't for them, you wouldn't have an education. You wouldn't have food. You wouldn't have ideals to persevere. I believe that strong. Sorry, I'm adamant about this because it's very important, and I see that lacking in society today. I want to end with this and let him go because I was trying to be positive right now. And here's the thing. I used to get lickings when I used to tell my mom, yeah or what? What? Yep. Pop, I show you what? And talking at the same time, no ever. He talked to me
every
like
syllable,
that,
every syllable whack.
Learn respect and dignity and honor and respect to the people out there who fed me so I can live, eat, and crap.
Shower.
freely for 18 plus years. You know, train your children, my brothers and sisters, to help you
Yep.
when you get older. Or say, Dad, you need help. Mom, you need help. Or no, even when you're making dinner for them, they automatically wash the damn dishes.
Mm-hmm.
You pay for the damn food. You pay for the dishes. You pay for the soap. You pay for the house. Have them do something, my brothers and sisters.
Yep.
You pay for everything. You pay for the gas that take them to school. You pay for the clothes on their back. You probably pay for the vaping punks. You're doing everything for them from 1 to 18. Teach your kids to have value and to understand that that's important. My partner get plenty of things for say too about this. So he would have another 15-10 minutes he can talk about. So I'm going to just lay my heart on the line, and then I'm going to let my friend take over. Because he has a lot of good things to say too about this topic. But train your children. What are you feeding your kids? Laziness? Are you feeding them giving upness? You training them to rely on other people? What are you doing, my brothers and sisters? What do you think, Jeff?
Nope. I agree. I agree with that all. And again, that comes back to, a lot of people, when you're putting them on tablets, and I know it's easy. It's super easy. They quiet, they're noisy. They're not the kind you just give them the tablet and okay, they're quiet because everybody's looking at you weird. Back in the day, there was no tablet. There was slaps. Okay, quiet, or you get pinched. You get pinched on the side and you start crying for no reason, but nobody knows. But you got pinched on the side of your stomach because you wasn't listening. Sometimes, again, this goes back to the mental training part. Instead of giving your kids a tablet to make them quiet when you go to the store, make them be in there. I notice a lot of kids that don't play out or do that. They don't even know where the hell they are.
Yeah.
They don't even know what the hell they're looking at. They're not even paying attention to their surroundings. Look, people, if you give them that all the time, they're never going to be aware. What's on the rise? Kidnapping. You know what I mean? Child prostitution.
They're not even paying attention. They just get taken.
Yep, they get taken.
Good point, Trav.
Because they're not used to looking at their surroundings.
That's right.
And
that's a good point, bro.
That's one thing that children need to have. Is that. And yeah, okay, I only let them in my house to watch that. Well, guess what? You're still contributing. They still, in their mind, all they're focused on is I want to watch a tablet. I want to watch this. That's in their mind. Instead of when we were little, we're like, bro, we want to go play outside. We're gonna go ride our bikes to go check out the reservoir. We can catch some guppies, or we're gonna try catch frogs or whatever. You know what I mean? We're going to go in the golf course and go golf course surfing, whatever. We was always doing something. We go make spear guns because we're going to go beach and try to shoot fish. We did all kind of things. We was always looking around. Where are we? We had to know when we would go out. We had to know, okay, like, if we're in this far, how's our way back? Okay, we're going to use landmarks. I remember this tree or this house or this color road or whatever it may be, or where the fork goes left and right. Okay, we went left, so when we come back, we got to make sure we're coming back and we go right. We would do that, or we look up further. Okay, the mountains going this way is this way, and our house is the ocean side looking this way. We was using our surroundings to figure out what everything was, and kids are lacking that, which I try to work with my kids now when we drive. There is no DVD crap or anything. I always hated it, but I tell them, look around, tell me where you're at. Because if somebody takes you or you don't know where you at least you can look around and be like, that's a good point. My son Titus, he knows, windmills, we're in North Shore. He knows where he's going in Koalina. You know what I mean? He knows when we're going in Waikiki.
That's actually a good point.
You want them, and you kind of talking them through, where are we? What do we buy? What is a landmark that you know where you know you're by? This all comes down to keeping them off of the tablet. Yes, it's fun. It's easy. There's a lot of things we're guilty. We're on our phones, play games. Again, going back in the day when we were growing up, we want to play games. There is no saves. There's no buying your upgrades. There's none of this. There's just, you're going to sit there. You're either determined or you die. One of the two. And then when you have to have challenging games, your friends had to come to you. Not, I'm going to play with a random. I'm playing with Joe 7766, and he's the best guy in the world. There's none of that.
I hate that interaction.
There was a kind. Oh, Bobby and Jason is coming over. We're gonna play Street Fighter 2. Oh, my turn. I win. And when you would go to the arcade, you didn't know who the guy was next to you. But if he beat you, bro, guess what? He's just on there, and he'd just be like, "Who's next?" And they would play. And that's how it was. There was a competition, but there was interaction. Regardless of if you were playing a game, there was still interaction. You know what I mean? Everything was there. Now there's no interaction. We just bust out the phone and just be like, hey, Joe, how you doing today? I'm doing great. Oh, my kids are driving me nuts. Oh, yeah, me too. Oh, did you see the new upgrade I bought for $100? Oh, my God, I got to get it too. We didn't have that. Try to go play freaking Street Fighter 2. Go save the game. I sit here and wait. You know what I mean? Go play Super Mario, Contra. 007, we could save. No, you couldn't save. You only could. You had to beat the level, and then it would save whatever you had. Like if you did regular agent, double agent, and 00 agent, or whatever it was. But there is no savings.
Yo, funny story, bro. You know how these guys, they talk so much crap, when they're playing games.
Yeah.
Try to do that in our day. Playing Street Fighter with my cousin, talking crap. We beat him. He lick us. He beat us up, bro. So taught us right there. No talk shit. You know what I mean?
Yep.
No talk crap.
What is?
That's a funny story, bro. Because you know how guys, they talk any kind over the game because they're not caring about
keyboard warriors,
bro. So you take that mountain off early and play with somebody in front of me and try to talk to them like that. See if you can say that kind of stuff.
Yep. You want what kids are lacking is being humbled.
Bro.
It's being humbled. One of my friends told me the other day, he goes, "Bro, I want my son for play sports, and I want somebody to just beat him or beat him up or whatever." And I was like, "Oh, how come?" He goes, "So he becomes humbled. Kid doesn't know what it is to be humbled." And I was like, "Well, that's a true fact." And what I noticed is a lot of kids, when it gets hard, unless the parents push them and make them keep up with it, they quit. "Oh, I'm not good at it. I quit." I seen it happen all the time. And they quit because I don't get the position I like, or I'm losing to everybody where we stay training. It even goes with adults. Oh, it's the uncomfortableness. And what does it come with? It comes with, going back, what are you feeding the kids when they're home? Oh, they get to have the easy games. They get to do this stuff. Like, what I want to do is I want to get the old school games and tell my sons, bro, you can play all the games you like, but you only can play these games. You know what I mean? If there's no savings, whatever, you don't like it, then you don't play no games. Oh, but I want to play Fortnite. I don't want you to play a game. Doesn't teach you nothing. Run around aimlessly and talk to people. Oh, I killed him. I shot him with my special skin gun. That's nothing. That's not even teaching any kind of like fundamentals, anything. Like at least Super Nintendo, you had to have at least algorithms. You knew what was going to happen. You had to have some kind of control with your fingers. Because you had to jump, press the button, timing. You had timing.
Yeah, I remember that.
Like there's none of that.
Turn back and go like that.
Granted, you play Fortnite and stuff. Yes, there's timing. You have to jump and then be like bang and then shoot.
Oh,
wow.
There's
timing. Yeah. There's things in there, but there's nothing to be really learned on it. There's no algorithms. I can hide in northeast corner in that warehouse, and I know that this part has this. You know. Everything is driven by dopamine. Now. If you make your kids have patience and get off of the devices where it's not now, you'll see that there's a difference. Like my other friend told me, he doesn't even feed his kids anything processed. He only gives them deer jerky or just deer, a boiled egg, and fermented goat's milk or something like that. It's probiotic, really good for your stomach health and vitamins. And he sends them off to school, like super, super hardcore action. But he says if you give them processed foods, they start bouncing off the walls, they start acting weird. Then what do? You start yelling at them.
Yeah.
And then you don't get to spend good time with them because you're always just mad at them because
that makes sense.
Because their body, their mind is getting screwed up by what they're eating. And it made total sense when he told me that. I was like, damn. That's what we got to start trying to implement into our children's lives.
That's true too.
But it also has to be implemented in our lives.
Yeah.
Because that diet starts with us and trickles to them.
That's right.
And if you buy other things that is not healthy, you're just creating the problems.
What you said the other day, I told my son, you got to drink more water. So after that, I started drinking water with him. So I made a cup of water with him. I said, you going to drink water, Daddy going to drink water. Because I'm like, drink water. And I get my soda. Yep. So that makes sense though. If you tell your kid to do something, you gotta do them with them. I agree with that. Sorry, go ahead.
You got to. And, it all starts that way. Yeah, we're on our phones and doing stuff. But, I mean, our parents was watching TV.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? A lot of times you spend time with them. You have from 0 to like 6 or 7 or something to program the kid. After that, good luck. So I think that you should just try to program the best that you can do. I'm not saying I'm the best at all, hands down. I'm far from the best. I mean, I'm very strict. My patients get worn out thin fast a lot of times, especially when they don't listen.
Oh, how about this, bro? Make your kids the best version of you, because that's what they're going to follow.
The problem I think with that is when we think of that, sometimes we could be too harsh on them and not let them be kids, which people say, but I don't understand that concept because... I understand both, but I still don't understand the concept because I'm always pushing so hard. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you can do too, but like you push them on a hard part, right? Get them to them, and they accomplish it. Tell them good job, and then let them and then ease back a little bit.
You know what they said.
Next day you do the same thing.
You know what they said about good job? They said they did a study with 100 kids, 50-50, and they did the 50% that was the better part. That they just smashed out all the goals that was in this first trial. They said, good job. All the other kids that didn't get good job, they just said, hey, glad to see that you tried hard. Or good. They didn't say good effort or anything. They just said, oh, you tried hard. Right on. Just keep going. You'll do fine. But they didn't say good job. They said that after like a month or something, they did another test. The kids that lacked actually excelled past the kids that was told good job, because the kids that were told good job just was like, yep, I don't need to work hard at it anymore.
The thing is, I agree that, but some people are different. Like me, I never had a good job at all. So like when my uncles or my former told me good job, I did more, because to me that was worth more than gold. Means I had accomplished.
But something. You're different.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. This is why it's different. People may be out there be like me. So good job and it's not good job depending what you like. But I really excelled on people telling me good job because I hardly had it said to me.
Well, what you can do is you can also look at how the kid reacts. If good job and they come, they're like, yeah, or they're like good job and they're like, oh, let me do some more. How
about this, bro? Like, if you tell them good job, right? Explain to them what really they have to, what they earned to get that, and it doesn't stop there.
I noticed
you
that.
Gotta keep pushing.
I noticed that.
Or you push them harder.
I noticed that even my kids, when they do something and they get to their goal accomplished, there's no drive after the accomplished goal. So I'm going to say 99% of people is that way. Just because we're anomalies.
We could be different. But Noah, if I tell my son, Noah, good job, he does more and he does help. So it's different. So I mean, like you said, no, like not saying your way is wrong.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, like you say, you floating apart the anomalies and stuff like that. Because my son, if I tell him good job, he does do more and he does excel. So he wants to hear that. It encourages him to know that I'm behind him. If that makes any sense.
Yep.
But I understand you also saying where if you say good job on time, they you don't throw it out there like you what you're saying. I agree. Don't just throw it out there. Yep. They have to earn that word. If that makes sense.
That would be kind of similar to like if you used to have a girlfriend and you brought her flowers every day. The flower doesn't hold the same weight as if you just brought it once in a blue moon.
No, but like I said, I'm not disagreeing what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because I agree what you're saying. Like not everyone has to be told. You cannot tell everyone that.
Stretch it.
But I just want to share like my son excels when he hears that. He wants to do more because he wants daddy to tell him that.
Yeah, and that's very, very rare. Not every kid is that way. Well, I don't see a lot.
That's true too.
I don't see a lot of kids.
That's true.
Wanting to do more.
That's true.
Once a lot because, and it goes back to their dopamine on stuff that's immediate. There's the drive. The thought is, and if you think about it, what the government wants is, hey, good job, right on, and you're never gonna want to excel up.
Yeah,
and that's a vast majority of children. It's factual. It is 100% factual, and not even children, even young adults. from you know what I mean, the teens to 20s. We see it in work, how much guys we went through, and you can see that they just want to coast on by and good job, right on. But there's no like good job, bro. Let me just I'll stay extra and I'll just help you. No worry. Yeah. You don't see that drive. I don't see that drive. I don't see that determination. I rarely see it. Like I said, you want your kid to be the go-getter. There's no wait. How many times you heard me talk about people, we're going to do this, and then they fall through. They don't even come true. I'm going to come. They don't come. Mine is, I say I'm going to be there and we're going to do something. It's on. We're on like Donkey Kong, baby. And that's what you want to teach your children is don't give up. There's no. You know what I mean? Hey, you got to keep pushing. Push. You want it? You got to do it, bro. You got to do it. If you don't do it, then you get nothing. It's all or nothing in my eyes. Like I told you, it's 0 or 100. That's all we're going to rock on. There's no, now you did a decent job. Here's a M&M. No way, bro. It's either you get 10 M&Ms or 0. Which one do you want?
That's a perfect point. Like, you're not going to say a good job if they did a crappy job.
I'll say they did.
You got to say you got to do a better job.
Yeah. Awesome that you tried, but you have to do it correctly.
But if they impress you.
Yes.
They impress you. And then I believe you tell them good job, but say now you have to excel even more now. What's the next step for you? And then you can train, but you have to be with them and train them to the next step to get to that point. That if that makes sense.
Makes total sense. It's like an apprentice to a journeyman. If the journeyman's with you helping you, you will progress quicker than to somebody that just lets you there. But then it also lets you see what type of person they are. Are they driven or are they not driven? And what you want to try to have is teach your kids to be driven. Again, getting them off the devices, showing him, hey, work for it. Like I said, is from before on the weekend, one day is play, one day is work. They can choose which day they want to play and which day they're going to work. But the day they're going to work, they're going to work. And they still have to learn that if they just kept everything clean, they wouldn't even have to work that hard. But they just make a mess. Bam. Like, bro, you just got to put that stuff away. And it'd be way faster. You'd have to just do the simple things. Rake the leaves. Throw out the trash. Vacuum the house. Clean the bathroom. Mop the floors. Done. You know what I mean? But again, it comes with time. And
that makes sense.
This is just our opinions about it. But definitely watch what your kids are doing. Watch what you're feeding them. All of these things do play prime examples of how they're going to become. You want to give them the best chance that they can have when they're young.
Yeah.
And that's the whole goal. When they're young, and of course, and they mold them when they get older. Like they said, raising a good kid is not easy.
It's probably the hardest thing in your life. It
is the hardest thing. It drives me nuts. But, you got to just try to do it. And eventually, hopefully, everything you did works and pays off. And hey, if we're wrong and your kid is just solid in your eyes,
that's good for you.
Then congratulations.
No, true. Hands down. Doing a good job.
But what you want to do is, if they're jumping from job to job, or you know what I mean, you see this kind of things, or they're always, I don't know what I want to do. I hate to say it, but they picked up on bad habits. They're stuck in the new norm, where people are not focused and determined, or a vast majority is not. But the goal is, hopefully, the stuff that we gave you can help.
Yeah.
And you guys can do your own research.
Do your own thing.
And whatever works for you, works for you. We're not saying it's right or wrong. Congratulations if you have the perfect kid that you think. I would say let me see what they do. And I'll judge it. And I'll be straight up brutally honest. Because people think that they have the greatest kids all the time. Mine is, let me see what people say about my kids, and then I judge. Because they're going to act one way in front of you.
Yeah.
And act different somewhere else. And that's every kid.
It's a fact,
To be the real judge of a character is to see how the person acts when the people that they're trying to impress is not around. Keep that in mind. I hope that helps you guys.
Mm-hmm. What he says is exactly correct, because that's why your teachers, they obviously listen to the teachers, but when you try to teach them, they know everything.
Yep.
So that means your children are going to learn more from other people than you, because they live with you, and that's just a fact. But you can still teach them as much as you can and prepare them for the real world out there. I agree with that, though, what you just said.
But, hopefully everything we gave you guys about what you're feeding your children and stuff, from iPads to food, and how we kind of look at things, helped you guys out, or gives you guys at least a little spark in there that goes, oh, I'll take some of it, you know, and hopefully it works for you guys.
Yeah.
But until the next time, we see you guys. Kevin.
What's up?